Well, good morning. It's great to be with you.
You as well. I know you've been a Baptist minister for more than 35 years. You're leading the charge on this. Why?
Well, I think it's time. I think the environment is right. I think people are recognizing, bottom line, a need to kind of remove this cloud that's just been hanging over the pulpits of America, really all the way back to 1954 and the Johnson Amendment. And if you understand the context of how this just got put in place, it really has created a cloud that has caused pastors at times to just kind of shrink back for fear of a threat from the IRS that they or their churches are going to lose their C3 status. And this bill really just sets out to clarify that churches are not intended in this. Nonprofits should not have to live under the threat of the IRS in this way just to practice their First Amendment right of free speech. And so that's the reason we're pushing it. We think the environment is right. And again, President Trump, as you mentioned earlier, has been very clear back in his first term, instructing agencies not to go after churches. And we feel like that if we can get this through, President will sign it, and we'll remove this cloud once and for all.
You bring up the 1954 Johnson Amendment. Let me just break that down for viewers at home who may not be familiar. It would remove that act, which prohibits tax-exempt organizations like churches from supporting or opposing political campaigns. So would your act allow churches to not only, freely speak, but also financially support candidates, sir?
No, and this bill is very clear that what we are doing is just allowing a C3 in their normal routine. As a pastor for 36 years now, I preach week in and week out. And when you stand up to preach God's word, it simply says that I am free to express what I would like to express. I mean, for the first 160 some years of our nation's history, pastors would go into the pulpit and would call out candidates. They would call out elected officials that were not following the principles of God's word that they believed were so important, and they were free to do so. And this is all we are saying is that in our normal activity of what we would normally do, we are not going to have that cloud. We're going to be free to endorse a candidate. We would be free to speak about issues and candidates. And nobody is setting out for churches to become super PACs or anything like that. In fact, that's clearly stated in the bill. This would be something that just, again, frees up churches from that cloud or that threat that the IRS has maintained over us.
This makes me think, back to January at the inaugural prayer service when Bishop Marianne Budde angered President Trump and Republicans by directly asking he give mercy to immigrants, those who are transgender. She went after his policies, and Republicans, the president himself, demanded that she make an apology. Based on your pushing for this act, did you support her right to do so at that time?
Well, she obviously had a right to do what she did. It was in very poor taste and was not the time or the place to do something such as that. And again, that was the inauguration and the prayer service, and I think that was very, very wrong in what she did. But again, her freedom should certainly be protected, as should all of the pulpits across America, for pastors to be able to just teach and preach the principles and feel free without that threat hanging over them.
Yeah, and just quickly before I let you go, sir, how confident are you that you'll get this bill signed into law?
Well, I'm excited, and I am confident. Leader Scalise and Speaker Johnson both have been key champions of this bill in the past. In conversations with them, we're going to move this through committee and to the floor of the House, and then we'll need to get it to the Senate. Senator Lankford is introducing the companion bill to this in the Senate, and he's going to be working, I know, diligently to try to get it through there. And again, President Trump and his support in the past for our churches and for the freedom of our pulpits across this country, I feel certain he'll sign it into law. And so we've just got to work through the process at this point.
Well, we'll be following it closely. Congressman Mark Harris, thank you so much, sir, as always, and please keep us posted on your end.
Thank you.